Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Gooners podcast. This is not a happy return to us. We always want to, come back with a happy face to talk about games, at least Arsenal games. But today it's not a happy return. Although it feels like a loss, we are going to talk about the draw that we had with that lot over on the other side of the road in the North London derby. With me to talk about this game today, I have Arun back with me. Hi, Arun.
Hello.
And Deepak. Hi, Deepak.
Hello.
Before we start, on our lamenting and complaining and whatever, I mean, first of all, if you are not going to complain about us going all positive about Arsenal after the PSV game, you shouldn't be complaining about us complaining about this game. So,
well, let them complain. We'll get some audience interaction. Don't say no to all that.
Yeah. Anyways, about the audience interaction, yes, please do like, share, subscribe, and comment in your thoughts, and also press the bell icon.
And then one more thing is we are on 295 subscribers now. So we are hoping to get to 300 before the international break. So that's 2 weeks and just 5 people. There's a lot of time. You can take your own time to comment, subscribe, and press the bell icon. So please do it.
See, this is why I have Arun from time to time, because I'm very bad at this. But talking about the game, I mean, we were just talking about this, right? Like for me in West Coast, it was a 6 o'clock game. So literally I had to wake up early, go to the game and watch the game. And after the high of that PSV game, this was a very, very let down performance for me. I mean, leave aside the score line, leave aside the result and what does it mean and all those things. But I felt this was a very, very, very low performance. Arun?
It was very, very disappointing. I think that would be like I don't know what else to say about this game. It's like a North London derby. It's one of the most, whatever position Tottenham are in, whatever position we are in, this is probably one of the most important games of the season for us. It doesn't matter. It's about bragging rights. And it seemed like they were very well prepared and we were not prepared at all. We had injuries, but that's what we have the squad for. If we want to call ourselves a title challenging team at this point with like few players out, I don't think we should be complaining about the lack of people. Like United have an entire first 11 out. Chelsea have players out, 10 players out injured. They complain, I would take it. But like for us right now, we do not have as many players injured to cite that as a reason. I think we should have been better prepared for this game. I also had I don't know if I had issues with people starting, but when I saw the people I thought I would have issues with performing on the pitch, I realized that I was right. And I was just like plain disappointed.
I mean, we would talk about the starting lineup in a minute, but Deepak, couple of years back, like even last year, right, when Spurs came or we went to play them, they always felt like, at least the Conte team felt like, they were scared of us. But yesterday game, like I was watching with my girlfriend and she was commenting, why are Arsenal players, like they feel like they are scared of this moment? There were a lot of missed passes. There were even Saliba had like a lot of iffy game.
I don't think so. It was scared or something. I mean, it was more to do with I think we were overhyped for this game. There was no composure in the team. Mm-hmm. We just wanted to beat them. Maybe like Arteta overhyped up this game. Like there was like literally no composure in the team. Like it wasn't the Arsenal of last season or even like the first 4 or 5 games of this season. There was no complete like cohesion within the team. There was no patterns which we always saw last season. We just wanted to like win the ball up top the pitch and just go and score goal, which we didn't do because of no composure. The Gabriel Jesus miss. If we had taken like 5 seconds or even like just 2 seconds to think about what he had to do, he would have scored that goal.
Mhm.
People were like in 200%, like in like bullet train
Mhm.
mode. There was no composure. I think that's what happened in the first half. In the second half, we never turned up.
Mhm.
We never turned up in the second half. Like, do you even remember one chance which we created? No,
No.
nothing.
After we scored that goal, I think minutes 50 to 80, that half an hour we were non-existent in the game. You
Yeah.
should not be doing that at home. It's like, yeah, for me, that's
Yeah,
like
we
first
can like
crime.
say Rice is injured or something like that. But Jorginho is like a
A veteran.
professional who has
Yeah.
been playing for 12 years. He's like a Champions League winning player.
Yeah.
So the
Euro
mistake was
Champions League
criminal.
winning. Yep.
Even after the mistake, we could have easily won that game if we had like tried a little bit more, which we never did. We
Mhm.
literally got dominated by a Spurs team who has like a new coach for just 7 or 8 games
Mhm.
and a midfield of like a Bissouma and Sar.
No, that's where like I mean I heard in I don't know which one I heard. I think I might have heard it in Ars blog or Ask Us, right? Like where they said Arsenal's floor is the same as Tottenham's ceiling. This was our floor, not our ceiling. Is that a
Yeah,
positive way to look at it? Like if this is our floor and this is Tottenham's ceiling and we are matching. Is that a positive way to look at it?
there is
I,
no positive way to look at this
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Everything was negative about this game. We completely underperformed. Uh, we are lucky to come up with a draw. That's what I would say.
Hmm.
Plus,
Arun,
like I don't like this comparison with Tottenham. To be honest, like they are not fighting for the title. They're what they are looking for. This season is very different from what we claim to be looking for forward to this season. You know,
I mean that's where I am actually now that we have seen this game like 7 games in and stuff. I mean I was planning to bring this stat later, but I mean we are here, so I'll bring this stat now, right? Like of our attacking intent, I've been complaining about this for quite some time. For all the listeners, you know that we have not been attacking is what my complaint has been. We have not been creating chances. We have not been doing that move, or at least my eye test was not giving it that way. But like I came up with this stat, which was like we are eighth on shot conversion. Our expected goal, we are eighth. Big chances scored, we are eighth. Big chances missed, we are ninth. Which means we are not missing a lot of chances. Like we are not creating a lot and missing a lot.
yeah,
No, we are not creating.
waiting at all.
Big chances created, we are 12th. 12th in the league.
Yeah,
Liverpool are leading us. They have 47 more chances than us. Liverpool are the top. They have 47 more chances. Then how are we to say that we are going to be the title challengers, right? Like Liverpool and City, they have like 30 plus chances on us, just chances created. It's not like goals and conversion and whatever. We're 12th in the league in chances created. That's bad.
yeah. It's like Deepak said, it's criminal missing chances like that and conceding the chances that the way in which we did it. It's absolutely criminal. Um, Whether we like it or not, whether it's our fans or the media or the pundits or whatever it is, we are being labeled as title contenders. Forget about like the title for a moment. Let's just look at like how we are playing. You know, like there's minimum expectations to be set, and whatever it is, like I think we have created what 7 or 8 chances from open play this season,
Mm-hmm.
and we are into the 6th game.
Seven.
You know, like
Yeah,
it doesn't really like it seems like a big switch was just turned off all of a sudden, and that is like I don't understand this lack of chance creation. I really am not able to put a finger on it. It's not looking good in terms of the chances creation part, especially when you have 2 strikers and neither of them is clinical finisher. And the backup that we got, who could possibly play as a striker, cannot hit the ball, like cannot hit the ball towards the goal for if it's life dependent on it.
Mhm.
So, like, yeah, when we have chance conversion at its lowest, then we should be trying to create more chances. We are not like a mid-table team who are like trying to sort of create one chance and like hoping to score off that to win the game. We are not that sort of a team. We've seen evidence of that before. I'm still hoping that we turn this around, but it doesn't look good.
That's
To be
why
no.
honest.
that's why
But
my question
see,
is right.
this
Like
big chances created. It's It's it is like overblown stat. We were sixth last season. Big chances created. We finished second. Liverpool topped the table as well last season. They finished fifth. It is not about the chances created or anything or something. It's Martinelli overperformed last season. So he's our best finisher. Of course, we missed him this game. I think if he had started and Rice didn't go off in the second half, we would have won this game. So, and plus, given the two strikers we have, we will never win anything for sure.
Yeah.
So let me get back. Okay, so regarding the starting lineup, it was a surprise in the morning when I saw Trossard not there. I was surprised, and then I found out, okay, he's injured. That makes sense. That makes
I
sense.
don't think so. Starting lineup was an issue.
No, for
That's
me
the
that
best
was an
team.
issue. No, that was an issue because for me, like we had one game with Jesus at top, and we perform that is against PSV, given that and all that thing, right? Like, but PSV are the leaders in their league, whether they have injuries or not. Like, we did not have that free flowing football versus Everton or other teams that we played. Which were like lower placed teams in the league. There was one game where Jesus started at top and we played really well. But then the next game, Trossard get injured. Why are we pushing our best chance to score a goal to a wing to accommodate someone who's not going
He
to
is
score?
not. He is not the best chance for us to score the goal.
Who else is there?
The point, finally we realized Jesus is not our best finisher. We would reach there.
But we don't have anyone else. Like
Martinelli was the best finisher. So you're saying you wanted to start Nelson. Nelson
Yes.
doesn't deserve to start. What has he done?
Well, I mean, he is a natural left forward rather than pushing someone from a different position.
Jesus has started every single game for Manchester City on left. He's not a striker. We signed him as a striker, but he's not a striker. That's the thing which we have to realize first. And with Eddie Nketiah, the game he played in the North London derby, that is possibly the worst striker performance I have seen from an Arsenal player. Not even one ball stuck to his leg. Not even once.
I mean, he could have gotten a red there. Arun, do you think?
Yeah,
that's
I'm surprised that he didn't get a red.
See, the biggest problem for me was
the thing was that I would again say this. I don't want to point a finger at one individual player because all of them were shit.
Mm-hmm.
All of them were shit. I don't know what else to say. All of them were really, really bad. Like Odegaard.
Yeah, they were bad. I will say they were bad. When you try to hit to your striker, if your striker can't hold the ball, what are the other players are expected to do?
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not the balls that came to him.
It was put to his feet. He couldn't even stick one ball in his feet. It wasn't any tough balls.
I'm not trying to defend Eddie here, but again, the captain had a shit performance. The captain was very bad. Odegaard and the left-hand side for me was non-existent. I have no idea why Fabio started. Absolutely have no idea why Fabio started. And Havertz comes to replace him, and he didn't do anything great either. So that left-hand side being non-existent, for me, probably Gabriel was the only one who looked assured throughout the game. Mm-hmm. I cannot think of Saliba had his moments, but he made mistakes as well. White had a stinker of a game.
White has
for me, what was bothering me the most, 3 of their midfielders had a yellow.
Yeah.
We made absolutely zero use of it.
And that Udogie guy was...
Udogie was he's 19 years old. That's my second point of contention. 19 years old. He gets a yellow card early in the game. That was early in the game. It was not 60th minute yellow card. It was 30th minute yellow card. We boast of having a player like Saka, but there was absolutely no problem for Udogie to do what he did. Granted, he didn't have a great game in terms of the number of fouls that he committed, the number of duels that he won, or whatever it might be. But I was so shocked to see the tactical change that was made to put Van de Ven on the left, White out on the left, and Udogie was in our half. That's a fullback with a yellow card. How can he be in our half? That made no sense to me. And when we are attacking, Saka is in our half. How can this happen? It made absolutely where we pegged back so much by this team with 6 new players in there that we had to actually sort to these sort of tactics. it was like very difficult for me to understand what was going on. Deepak said like they were hyped.
It was
We were,
so easy. We were playing with the 10 men. Like,
it
see,
seemed like
Arun,
we were
like
playing with
you
5 men,
can.
not even 10 men. That's what I'm saying. It seemed like so bad that we were playing with like half the team.
The biggest
Uh,
problem I had with was like you said, Nelson starting, right. Nelson should have come on at least at the 50th or the 60th minute for
yeah,
AD and Ketia.
yeah,
It
that's another
how
thing.
AD like lasted the entire game, I will never know.
Mhm.
His work rate was going down. His effort was going down. The ball was not sticking to his leg, and his body language suggested that he was not like being there.
See, this is
Yeah,
why this is my concern, right? Like with Arteta, I have two concerns. I've always raised one of the concern is about his man management, like in-game man management, right? Like where he brings on substitutes at the wrong time and all those things. First thing, why did Eddie stay the whole game? Second thing, we saw that Saka was injured. He was putting
yeah,
Saka in the right back position to hide that he's an injured player. Why can't we take him out? We have players on the bench. Isn't that the whole point of having a squad?
Yeah, yeah. It's this
yeah.
stubbornness. I hope it doesn't cause us any trouble in the long term. But this stubbornness has to change.
Not just the team, the manager had a stinker of a game as
Yeah,
well.
No, that's
Like,
that that's the problem, right? Like like for me, the biggest problem is that um, we have been playing the same team. There was no need for us there is no need for us to completely revamp like what Wenger used to do, but we need to give time off for players, or else
yeah,
we'll end up. We are already out of the problem with our injury is that it's all clustered, right? Like we get injury in one part. Like last season, um, Saliba is injured and Tomiyasu is injured. That's the problem, and Partey was out. So that was the problem. It was the same part of the pitch that was affecting. Right now, Trossard is injured, Martinelli is injured. They might come back soon, but Saka looks like being gone. That means the whole of front line, which has that creativity, is gone now.
yeah.
And then we have like Rice, who is on the injury list. So I don't understand Rice and Partey. That's the same area again.
wait till Ode gets injured. He's being overplayed as well.
Yeah. And I'm very worried. Like, what are we have signed players, we have players. It's not like we don't have players, and there is time for substitutions. We have 5 substitutions, we could make use of it, and we are not making use of it. And the other
We
side
could
of
have
it,
yeah.
the other side of
We
it is
could
like,
have put yeah.
yeah,
We could
sorry.
have put Havertz as a striker and played. He would have done something there.
I doubt it.
It,
Yeah, and the manager is like taking out your a keeper who's not having, I mean, yeah, he
yeah,
has his own problems, but he's not the problem right now, right? Like
yeah,
he's not
that's
the
true.
problem in the
Like,
team.
yeah,
You are ready to do that, but you're not ready to take out in game a player who's throwing a stinker. I don't understand
yeah,
that.
that's true. Yeah, if you're ruthless enough to remove your
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
probably a third or fourth best player last season,
Mhm.
you should be like ruthless enough to remove like underperformance. Probably taking off Jesus might be has to do with some of his game time and coming back from injury. But like, yeah, you could have switched. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I have no explanation for AD
Yeah,
staying that
yesterday's
long.
game, absolutely no explanation. Yeah, that's the only
Like
way to put it, I
the
guess.
entire Arsenal as a club had like a off day. Let's keep it that way.
Is it that's the problem, right? Like I don't know, Arun, if it's just a off day or is this like the
I want
battle
to
of the
believe that
season.
it's just an off day. I
We
really
we
want to
yeah
believe that it's again like it's not about title challenging or like doubting the manager in the long run or like like where we are going to finish. Not about all of that. This game, the way in which we played, we should not have played that way. It's like I'm looking at this as a singular game. Like forget about all that happened in the 5 games before because we managed to get the points that we deserved from those games. We should have put the game to bed by like the first 45 minutes. We stopped
yeah.
playing after 35 minutes, 30 minutes. 30 to 45, it was all them, and that's how they got that goal. I knew the goal was coming. I knew it was going to come from some form or the other. And like this goalkeeper change and bringing Raya in and everybody talking about Ramsdale going out. Man, Raya did nothing in this game except
Apart
for
from
that
that
one
one
save
save,
that
yeah.
he pulled. The rest of the game, it was so bad. I don't remember any of his balls reaching the players. It was like watching Ramsdale all over again, albeit a really like low confidence Ramsdale. Like I thought, like based on what we saw in the PSV game, the defenders were going to be like more confident and calm when they had the ball because of Raya's presence. I didn't see any difference.
I mean,
I didn't see absolutely no difference.
the point is, right, like Ramsdale was the man of the match last North London
Yeah,
derby.
yeah. He
I
kept us in
think
the game.
even if Ramsdale has started this game, nothing would have made a difference.
No,
Like I said, as a team, they were like too much overhyped. There was like literally no composure. If we had played with like a low, right, with like the composure we had, we would have easily played first out of the park. They just left so much thing open. If we had like little bit of composure, you could have passed through the line and could have scored 3-4 goals easily.
but
Even in
that's
this game, without like doing that, we had 3 chances to to go 2 or 3-0 up, which we messed up very badly.
so that's where, like, okay, I have 2 points in that, right? Like, first point is playing through the middle, as Deepak was mentioning.
Oh my
This
God, it was so
season,
bad.
we have not played through middle this whole season. Like last game, I think Arun, you were talking about the pitch tilt or whatever that thing is called. We have been playing all over from the wings and the side of the pitch rather than through the middle. Arsenal are a club. I mean, it is something that I'm trying to understand and trying to get behind. And I've been, remember like a couple of seasons ago when we were complaining about Arteta's game being that we all go on the wings and then try crossing the ball into it. Similarly, we are doing the same thing, but not crosses. This time, all our balls are coming from like there was no through the center balls at all this season, not just this game.
Vertical passing
There's
was.
nothing in this.
There's nothing. Yeah, there was. The worst part was like we were not winning the duels. We were not winning the second balls, and we were not like every time we tried to pass the ball through the middle, it was someone in a white shirt who was getting the ball. I was getting so frustrated. Like, it sort of made me think like, if this person is not there, why is it becoming such a big problem? Like Deepak said, Jorginho is like a professional with so many years of experience, and he's making that mistake. And after that, it took him a long time to really actually send like a proper ball through the middle. Like it wasn't working at all. And another thing that I found and I was really irritated by was like, of course, already Eddie was having a shitty game. Okay. And they were like triple tagging him at one point. There was like one sequence where we were on the left trying to attack. There were 3 people around him. Ideally, like if the striker is good enough, he fights his way out of it. If not, the ball is going to be stolen from him and it's going to fall out. All the 3 players attacking him were really close to him, which means that he's taking 3 players out of play. None of our players was near the entire situation at all. Like, where are you going to steal the ball from? Like, it made no sense to me. I was like, I was shocked. Everyone was like a few yards away. You need to be closer. And they were again like recycling possession. They were getting back to the midfield and attacking us. It was going on a loop. It was so frustrating to watch. Like, I don't want to sound too negative, but like yesterday was probably one of the best Arsenal performances that I've seen. Like, and I've seen Emery's team. Sorry, worst performances. Sorry. And I've seen all of Emery's games. And honestly, trust me, this is like, it was really
6-0 and stuff. We have seen it, but this is like very draining.
That's the thing. Like you fight hard and you lose a game, you wouldn't feel this bad. When you don't fight at all and you play like shit and even draw a game, it doesn't feel good. That's how I felt. Like, that's how I felt.
Yeah, Deepak, you were mentioning about the composure of the team, right? Like, remember last season when, like, whenever we score, we used to do this huddle thing. Like, Shaka was leading it and like making the players calm down so that we were not like, we were having this problem last season too, where after we score, we concede, or after we concede, we score. Like, and then we brought in that huddle thing where we were like, okay, let's calm down. Like, and it was led by Shaka. Do you think that would have helped that Jorginho situation? We scored a penalty. Saka takes it, and I also has like, I don't know if I should be complaining about this or not, but Saka was celebrating both his goals. I'm not trying to be Gary Neville. I don't want to support what his thoughts are. Gary Neville was. I'm still saying like fuck off, because he went on online somewhere and he was mentioning, oh, Arsenal were over celebrating and that's why they lost the goal. Fuck you, Gary Neville. That's not the reason. We didn't have the composure, that I understand. But do you think we should bring that back? Someone like Shaka is missed in this situation. Someone who can keep a calm head.
Like Chaka and Calmhead are like something. It's like opposite.
But he
But
did. Last season, he did.
yeah, he did. Like something. Something went completely wrong yesterday.
Not
Like
just
I said,
yesterday, right? That's why I'm worried about
no,
the
not just
situations of.
yesterday. Was like even like take Fulham game or something. We conceded the goal at last minute, but we played well that game. We went down, we came back, we had a composure. We knew that we would come back. That goal which we conceded was unfortunate. It was a very well finished goal. But other games like Everton, even like in Crystal Palace, we just literally like played them out of the park for the last 5 minutes, like when they were trying to score. Where did that composure even go? Like Crystal
Mm,
Palace is a
mm,
very tough away ground to go.
mm.
This was your home game. There was like, yeah, like Jorginho took like 10 minutes to pass that ball. He could have just cleared it. And like, yeah, like Arun said, after that goal he conceded, Jorginho was so afraid to even make a forward pass. Like, he is like 12, 13 years experienced player. I don't know like what went wrong. Like, we were very much hyped. The crowd was hyped. Like, the adrenaline rush went to the player's head like too fast, I guess.
But it's been also the bad thing is like we have been good away from home rather than at home. That has been a concern, right? Like for any team
Yeah.
that we have to talk about, like championship or like some team that's going to go on a run, we have to be very good at home, but we seem to be leaking goals at home.
Yeah.
It's just the opposite. Like, we play well away from home. And I think the expectation of winning games is like weighing in high on the players. Like at home, it's like everyone expect us to like win the game.
Mhm.
They want to go and win the game somehow.
Yeah,
It's
but
not like
you
we
cannot
play
blame
our,
them for that, right? You
yeah,
are
we cannot
expected
blame.
when, yeah.
But the thing is, like, when it translates to the gameplay, right, it affects them. We don't play with the same composure or something. Even in the last game where we conceded at the first minute, we see, like, okay, yeah, we conceded, then we can come back somehow. But this game, there was anything like that. Oh, yeah, let's go, score a goal. Let's win the ball up front. Let's score a goal. That's all it was. Yeah, that shot from Jesus, he was like trying to hit so hard. It like, what the hell?
So a couple of things about like this game, and then we'll move on to the other situation. I don't. For me, the biggest problem is like with Arsenal club, we know all our villains, right? Like we know the Drogbas, we know the Keanes, we know the villains, Hazard, we know all the villains. And now the villain with us have always been like Bale. With Spurs, it has been Bale, then it is Kane and Son. But somehow it's always these villains get their way.
I'll
Like
tell you a bigger villain. It's Arsenal Football Club. I don't know how else to describe this. I don't think like it was Son who killed us yesterday or like the midfield. It was
Madison.
us. It was us. Like we stole that ball from Madison. Had we scored that goal, Madison's confidence would have taken a dent. Instead, we just like gave that chance and we
Yeah,
made him.
exactly.
Yeah, we made him like play probably the game of his life. It's not like we are playing Madison for the first time. We played him when he was at Leicester, surrounded by people who were probably at the peak of their powers. This first team has 6 new players. Like Deepak said, Bissouma had a shit season last season. He's been playing superbly this season, but he's a very limited player in terms of what he can do. And we made him look like he was Yaya Toure region or something. Like again,
Yeah.
this Sar is a very young player. We have a better midfield than what they have to offer. Like, if you look at the matchups too, if it was Sar versus Fabio, I would say it's 50-50. I would not like give it in anyone's favor. But the way in which we were, and Fabio, we was falling for every fucking thing. That's you're not going to get fouls for the things that you fell for. It didn't like what was the idea behind like stopping play so much that prevented us from like keeping the momentum that we had when we had the ball. It made no sense to me. The recovery was bad. We were like not having a consistent face without a stop. So that's why I'm saying I don't see a villain in the form of anyone from Tottenham. The villain is just Arsenal. It's like when you see
Yeah.
that meme, you're riding a bike and then you're putting a
Yeah.
rod in the front wheel, like it's Arsenal doing that. The rod is Arsenal, the bike is Arsenal, the person riding the bike is also Arsenal.
It was same with Howard. He was like falling for every foul. I saw
Yeah.
like one instance where a fan in the background was shouting, "Get out!"
Yeah. Towards the, like it was on the left, right? It was on
Yeah.
the left. Yeah.
But
It
yeah,
like sometimes I feel our players overdo this. Jesus was doing that a lot towards the end of last season. You're not going to get a foul. Like be like Sterling. That's a perfect example. The dude never falls. He always keeps trying. Be like Sterling. It's not a bad quality to have, honestly speaking.
I mean, for people who are listening, this might sound like a little bit too harsh, right? Like, oh, why are we being? Yeah, it's a North London derby. Of course, emotions are going to be running
That's
high.
probably why we are reacting so much. I don't think like we would have reacted the same way had this draw happened against another team. I don't think we reacted so much for Fulham.
I mean, I was reacting this much even against Fulham because I am still seeing the pattern of like I'm always scared that with all the stats that I was telling you, I'm always scared that last season was that an anomaly season instead of it being the progress that we want it to be. But I know this is a harsh question to ask at this point, but with this start that we have had, not just about this game, but the start that we have had in this season, are you guys re-evaluating where we want to finish this season?
As in, like challenging for the title or top 4 finish? Is that how you're asking?
Yeah, I said we would win the title. So, but yeah, given like the 6 games which I have seen, I think I would like say no. Probably if we improve in the next run of 6 or 7 games. But yeah, look, given the start which City has had, they are not playing well, but they are still churning out results, which is a scary thing. So it is going to be like really tough to win the title. So I would say like, yeah, probably we would finish in top 4 maybe, but I think we would still challenge for the title.
Liverpool, you think we would be better than Liverpool at the end of the season?
It's margins.
Probably they are just one injury away from like.
Yeah, it's margins at this point. Yeah. Like their attack is great, but their one defensive issue or one midfielder could bother them. But yeah, I think we would still be in the title race. I was predicting a second finish. I would still hold on to that second or third because the season is not decided after 6 games. And I want to like, I'm not going to change that until we get to December because I was not confident of a title win. I knew we had deficiencies, but we are not getting exposed. That's the thing. Like the goals that were scored against us was one of them was Jorginho, and the other one was it was all on us. It was not like we were being cut through and exposed. Maybe that could happen in the City game. I'm really hoping it doesn't. But yeah, I'm not like worried about like where we are going to be finishing just yet.
We'll put that a lid on that game because I think like if we go along this route, we might end up too negative. At least I would end up too negative. But to go back and what we have been doing, we'll continue the discussion on other teams. But before that, yes, if you're still listening, please do comment in your thoughts on the game, like where we lost it. Do you think we have to reevaluate our choices? And yeah, as Arun said, we are 5 subscribers away, so please do subscribe. And I mean, let's get to the part of where we would talk about other teams, right? Like I'll throw games at you. I didn't watch a lot of games. I just watched a couple of them and I watched some of the highlights because, of course, when this happens in your week, you're not motivated enough to go back and watch other teams. But City, like Arun, you were saying, right? Like City, Deepak was saying. Deepak, I'll start with you then. City has been churning out results, which is a scary thing. And this game, especially Nottingham Forest game, they were man down, like way early in the game. Like I think around 45, 46 minute, they were man down. Yes. They played almost half game with 10 men and still win 1-2-0 against the Nottingham Forest team.
No, they were like really professional. Like in the
Mhm.
second half, like even if City is down 10 men, they can like literally pass you to death, no
Mhm.
matter what. So that's what they exactly did. They did like Nottingham Forest had couple of chances. I did see the second half, but yeah, City was thoroughly professional, and yeah, they are just like now coasting to the title, even if it's just 6 games.
uh, Arun,
Yeah, like imagine like they spent 250 million incomings on top of a treble winning team. So it's not like some rocket science, but
yeah,
they are the favorites. I think.
I mean, still, it's a pretty impressive one what they are doing. Arun, Brentford, Everton.
Oh,
Everton
yeah.
1-3-1.
Yeah, they played well. Everton played well. Like they were not bad for a change. They played well. But Brentford, I feel really sorry for that manager. I like him, Thomas Frank. He's like the work that he's done at that club, bringing them from the championship all the way here and sustaining, being close to the top half. He's done a really good job. But the board is not helping him in any way. You take a goalkeeper like Raya out of that team, and then you provide like someone like a Flecken there. I mean, I don't know how that is like a proper replacement for a goalkeeper like Raya. And yeah, they are just like letting the manager down at this point, I would say. He's a manager who can make a difference. And this is the difference that clubs like Brentford are praying for. But like by giving him bad tools, not even like you can it might have been better if they'd not replaced the players. I think that's what I would say. So like by giving him the tools that you gave him, you're like basically setting him up for failure. And that's what they did. For me, that's how I felt. Like nothing against Everton. Like I said, they played well. But Brentford is not the kind of team which would be like struggling like this at home. We've seen how they play, and it wasn't fun. Like it wasn't good.
I'll hold on to you
Ever,
for. Sorry, Deepak, go ahead.
Everton wasn't like surprising. The big the big chances created that you'd be surprised. Everton is seventh.
Wow,
The
they are
only
ahead of
game
us.
they didn't create that many chances was against us. Rest
Yeah.
of the games they had played really well. They never finished the chances.
Mm. Arun, I'll hold on to you for two draws that happened, like Crystal Palace Fulham, which was a 0-0 draw, and then Luton and Wolves were a 1-1 draw. Both I felt
Luton
was
finally
boring.
got a point.
Yeah, but they also went down 10 men. Oh, no, Wolves went down 10 men. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. I think Neto scored a really good goal in that game, and that's become a meme now. He like did like about 14, 15 celebrations for scoring that goal. Like there were so many different things he did. But like yeah, Luton getting a first point is good for them. But then again, they're not going to stay up. That's for sure. They don't look like a team that wants to stay up. That's the main thing. Crystal Palace Fulham. I didn't actually watch that game. I
Good,
didn't watch that game. Yeah.
There was
good
nothing in
that
that
you didn't
game.
watch.
There
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
nothing in that. Deepak, the United versus Burnley. United won.
Yeah.
That was a good goal. I mean, I hate to say
It
that, but
was
it was a good goal. But United played not that well again.
it was like watching like 2 seasons back, like Burnley, how Burnley used to play. United played that way, and how United used to play. Burnley played that way. It was switched like, and it was like a smash and grab, literally.
Mhm. Mhm.
United played like a Sean Dyche Burnley, and they won a game,
Well,
which is like,
that's why, like like for them to be playing that way, you can say that they have like almost half the team out, and
out.
they're
Yeah,
playing that way. And but for us, that's where I'm saying like I won't accept that thing. I'm just like going back to what we spoke about already. But Burnley, like I knew they would fall short because of the lack of quality. We're talking about Johnny Evans here, who had a goal chalked out and was the provider of that beautiful assist for Bruno Fernandes. But imagine Johnny Evans would be like a rock star. He's struggling to find game time at United, and rightfully so. But he would be a rock star at Burnley.
Mhm.
That's the level of difference and quality that we're talking about. And though both teams like Burnley played really well, actually, to be honest, they hit the bar twice, once or twice. And they were like creating chances, but they couldn't finish any of what they were doing. They had like United on a split for most of the game, but that's the thing. the difference in quality takes you over the edge, whether it's United versus Burnley or Arsenal versus City or whatever it might be. And that's exactly what happened here.
I mean,
Yeah, like
sticking on to, sorry, Deepak, go
yeah,
ahead.
Burnley would go down. Like this is the difference between Championship and Premier League.
Yeah.
There are like too much quality in Premier League that even if you play well, you would lose games.
Plus, like,
This
you
game they
can.
could have. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, Deepak. Just one thing is that if you miss these chances in Championship, you will get another opportunity to create and score more of these. But like in the Premier League, you need to like capitalize on your chances.
I mean,
This would have been a huge upset had like Burnley won this game.
on other news though, United front, like I heard that Eric Ten Hag has banished Jadon Sancho from all the
Good.
first team facilities, including the dining room.
That's good. That's good. I'm with the manager on this.
Do you think like I mean this is a question for both of you.
Don't ask us if we want to take Sancho on a loan. The answer is
No.
Okay.
That's not what I'm asking. No, I'm asking like, do you think Ten Hag will outlive Sancho? Sancho has 3 year still on his contract.
Yeah.
I
Sancho will
think they
be
would sell him in January.
January. They'll send him out on loan or sell him in January. That's for sure. And like I said, I'm completely with the manager on this. He needs to establish like baseline rules and all that, and the players have to abide by it. And player like comes out and says stuff like this against the manager. No, you're not supposed to do that.
The next game is Chelsea Aston Villa. Our good old Emery won against Chelsea.
Chelsea are in relegation battle for sure.
Like I saw something like since Haaland joined the Premier League, I think he scored 44 goals or something, and Chelsea have scored like less than like 30 goals around that period. Like it's funny and sad at the same time. It's funny because we are an Arsenal fan and we can point and laugh at them.
There is one more stat. It's like staggering. Enzo Fernandez has won against only one team among the 90 in Premier League currently, which is Bournemouth.
Wow.
Since he joined.
Like that's the thing. Like they're expecting things from players who are not like used to doing things that they're expecting. Enzo is a good player there, but they're making it seem like he's the next Xavi or something. Like he makes one good pass, but 10 bad passes in the game. They focus on that one good pass and they're like, 115 million is a steal for this guy. No, it's not a steal. 115 million is a steal for nobody. Rice at 105 is not a steal. It's like you're trying to make yourself feel good and justify the spending of the club. It's not working. That's the truth.
The next game is Liverpool West Ham. I mean, this is where I am a little bit like when you guys say like, oh, we are in the title fight. I am a little bit concerned because Liverpool are performing. They are
3 teams can be in the title fight, Vijay.
Why not?
Last year, how United were there in the title fight, we could also be there this season.
I don't want us to be like that, United in the title fight, or the Spurs in the Leicester season title fight. I don't want that to be happening. But yeah, they won that 3-0, and I thought like
3-1.
Liverpool
3-1.
3-1. I thought like they were outplaying West Ham massively in that game.
They deserved it. They still deserved it for all that they spoke, like, saying that Antonio coming out and saying that we are going to be finishing above them. Like, know your place, man. I'm like, I don't like talking bad about these smaller clubs when you know your place. Honestly, just because you won the Carabao Cup of Europe, it doesn't make you like a big team. And Liverpool is a big team. They're bona fide like title challengers season in, season out. So yeah, know your place. That's what I would say.
The other big team or other interesting team to watch is Brighton. Right? They won 3-1 against Bournemouth. They are still playing at a level that is like, that is still fun to watch.
They are currently the best team to watch in Premier League.
Yeah.
Their games are always that goal, even if it's against them or like for them.
It's very interesting. That's the whole point. It's very interesting to watch. Like City games are boring to watch because it's automation. They're going to win for sure.
Yeah. Did you notice he changed the goalkeeper again? No one talked about it.
No. He changed the goalkeeper. He put Welbeck in number 10, made Ivan Ferguson play at top. yeah, he's just like playing with the team so much.
Nobody, the cameras won't show like how the second goalkeeper is playing when the first one is playing, and like they
No,
don't do
but
any of
but
that
that's the thing,
nonsense.
right? Like, but that's the thing. I want Arteta to be like that. Change the team, make everyone play, fight, give them a chance to fight for their places. Not like for the. I mean, I understand training. You see
See,
more
the,
and
the
all those things.
problem is like you saw, right? You will get unnecessary stupid questions from media because it's us. We are a big team, and if it Brighton does it, you don't get that much scrutiny because Brighton is a small team. He can do any experiments or anything. And if we had lost this match, no one would have said anything. Okay, yeah, it's fine. It's Brighton lost against it. But if we had lost the match, oh yeah, this is because of Arteta or whatever he did.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he should be brave enough to make the changes. Hopefully he does and give chances to
Mhm.
Nelson, ESR. There are like players we can utilize. ESR is a really good player who he like brought into the first team after Emery and gave chances like 2 seasons back.
Yeah.
So yeah, he can trust
Even
him
even
and
in
he
this game,
trusts.
even in this game, I think when he came in, he was lively.
Yeah,
Granted, we didn't do anything much, but like that moment, like 90 plus minute, we had more, forward momentum than the time before that.
yeah, yeah.
But the last game of the game week is Newcastle 8-0.
yeah.
It felt like a FIFA game literally to watch.
Yeah,
Eight
yeah.
different scorers, 8-0.
I
Can
think,
Sheffield
yeah,
United
like
come from this and play
yeah,
football?
that's what I'm saying. Like the Sheffield United are also like another team that is surely going down, and then showing it to us like week in week out. Had they pulled a win against Tottenham last weekend, maybe things might have been different. Like they would have probably lost, but not this badly. But then like when you're losing a game like that, it dents your confidence so much. Already you're like, oh, we're not going to survive, and then this happens, and you're like, oh, we're definitely not going to survive. So let's just go there. Like their wages are not going to reduce. I don't think so. But so like I don't think the players are trying. Yeah, but like it's known. I think Luton and
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
I watched that match. The second half was so funny. Every single shot which Newcastle United took was a goal.
But this
They
is
had 8 different scorers. That's the worst part. Like their goalkeeper did
Yeah.
not score, and like I think just a couple of others didn't score. 8 scorers is like insane. It's insanity.
yeah, but this is also the second game that Newcastle have scored 5+ goals, right? This season. The first game they scored 5, and now they've scored this. We have been complaining about Newcastle being a boring team, but they are scoring these ridiculous number of goals
Yeah, but
against
they're
this.
scoring them against like teams at the bottom half of the table here. They're just being flat track bullies at this point. Like the moment they face a good team, they're failing. So
Well, that is the roundup for the Premier League this week from us. Do you guys want to pick like a goal of the week?
Goal
no,
of the week. I don't even remember.
yeah, I don't remember the goals either. It's a thing. I don't think
Any
anything stood out.
any player of the week? Any one player stood out this week?
Mitoma.
Mitoma.
He's like really, really good. He would be the next 100 million sale from Brighton.
Yep, that is true. Anyways, thank you guys. Thank you for joining in. It's a difficult conversation to have, but at least it's fun to have with you both. And for all the viewers, yeah, if you want to be still part of this group to talk things out, reach out to us in our social media platform, and we'd be glad to have you in. And until next game, bye from me. Bye.